I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A.
Whatever you do, don't watch this video, especially if you don't want to know where money comes from. So 90% of people don't actually know where money comes from. And besides the fact that the Reserve Bank prints money, we have something called fractional reserve banking. Now, what's fractional reserve banking? It's basically another way how money is being created. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. However, this may be one of the best kept secrets that financial advisors have kept from you up until now. Now, there's something called a reserve ratio. So, for instance, the reserve ratio is 1 to 10. Right? So, whatever money an organization has, they basically are able then to make loans up to 10 times that amount. Think of a bank. Let's say Bank A. I'm banking with Bank A, and I play the lotto and I win 5 million. So what will now happen? The lotto would then send the funds to my bank account, and what Bank A can now do is, because the reserve ratio is 1 to 10, they can make loans up to 50 million. So remember, I won 5 million, so now legally they can create loans up to 50 million. That is if the reserve ratio is 1 to 10. Now let's say a property developer comes and he says that, you know what, he tells Bank A that here is my paperwork and I would like to borrow 50 million from you. So legally now Bank A can do this. They borrow this person 50 million, and remember, they couldn't have created that money legally if I did not have my 5 million deposited into my account. So now, but this person now banks with Bank B. So 50 million gets paid over to him in terms of a loan, and because Bank B also can create up to 10 times the money that they are holding, now they can create loans up to 500 million. That's just basically because they add that money deposited into their account. So let's say now the property developer decides, you know what, I'm going to get a project manager, and they're going to send all of the funds to the project manager, because the project manager will be seeing to everything, and they send 50 million to the project manager, and this project manager banks with Bank C. So as a result, because 50 million is being deposited into his account, now his bank can also create loans up to 500 million, and the cycle goes on and on and on. Now you may ask yourself the question, how long can this system actually sustain itself? And a simple answer to this is not much longer. You would hear many old people say, you know what, when I was young, I had money. And the reason for that is because money is always being devalued because of fractional reserve banking. When I was younger, my mother would earn 320 rand per week. So on Fridays, she would give me 80 rand to go and do some grocery shopping for herself, me, and my 3 siblings. Now, if we do the maths, it's clear that that won't be possible again today. I mean, just lunch for me and my video team would cost more than 320 rand even. Now let's look at another scenario. Suppose you go to the supermarket with 1,000 rand and you decide, you know what, I'm going to make a list of the things that I can buy. But let's say you are smart and you decide, I'm not going to buy these stuff, I'm going to invest this funds with my beloved bank, and your bank gives you 5% for the year, and now next year you come back with 1,050 rands and you go back to the supermarket. Do you think that you'll be able to buy all of those things on that list? Absolutely no. Now my question to you today is, why do you still hold money in the bank? Now, obviously, I don't mean that you need to go and spend all of it, but have you wondered why do rich people never have money to borrow you when you ask for a loan? It's because rich people understand that money is always being devaluated. So as a result, they invest their money into something that gives them returns 5 to 10 times more than what the bank would do. And that is exactly what NMS is about. Now, not so long ago, I was fortunate to invest 500K into a certain ecosystem, and that opened doors to me that I never knew existed. You see, it's something like Shark Tank. So entrepreneurs would come to us and they would pitch us their business idea, and if it is actually something of worth, we would then come up with the seed money, and then they would launch their business. But we are able then now to get shares or NFTs or coins we would get very cheap. And before the public knows about it, when it launches in the public and they become excited about it, then obviously the value goes up, because then they are also interested in it. Now, in order for you to operate in a global scale, you would maybe say, you know what, I'm not going to create the traditional shares, but I'm going to create a collection of NFTs, or I'm going to create a token. So we would then get the token very cheap, let's say for 0.1, and by the time when we in the group share it with other influencers and celebrities, and they for instance get it for 0.05 cents, then they are happy. And once it launches in the public, and the public are then able to get it for 0.01 cent, so which means they get it for 10 times more than what we get it for, and they are happy because they bought it on the first day. And that is the time when we have actually 10x our seed money. And that is exactly what NMS does. And because not everyone has 500K to get into these doors, when you become a member of NFT Millionaire Secret, you also get allocation into some of these projects. Now, I don't mean to say that you need to go and take all of your hands or your dollars and convert it into coins or tokens, but I'm just making it clear to you the fact that currency is always being devaluated. So what entrepreneurs do is they rather invest their currency into something that basically grows faster, because at the end of the day, if you have a certain amount of shares, nobody can create more like in the traditional way of fractional reserve banking. So now, as more people want it, the value of it goes up, and that is why Elon Musk is basically the richest person in the world. That is because he came with a concept, and as more and more people adopted the idea of us buying a car that drives without petrol, so now the industry is growing, and Tesla shares keeps going up, SpaceX shares keeps going up, and as a result, his wealth grows. In fact, it is recorded that Elon Musk made $96 billion in the last 30 days just because of the value of his company shares going up. And that is how entrepreneurs and smart people are making sure that they don't hold currency that is always being devalued. See you in my next video.